the lie our mind sells us. I was into script writing when I was a bit younger, and there's something called a character arc, the journey the character goes through. And one thing a character, always starts out with is, in a way, they're always fundamentally flawed. Why they're fundamentally flawed? Because they believe in a particular lie. Now, this particular lie is what we call the lie which the character believes. We fundamentally believe in a particular lie, and this lie is actually what is keeping us going big time. It is a big part of what we are, but that's the thing, it's a lie. So in order to detect what this lie is essentially the practice of vidarshana, or watching your mind and understanding it. Yeah, of course it might be a bit difficult to catch it straight away, because the mind does like a good job of like covering it up within layers within layers within layers, so you can't like directly see into it. But there is a lie which you believe. Yeah, so much background noise, so I'm like reconsidering, like there is a standard which has to be maintained, and it's still there. Yeah, we always try to do things into a particular standard, and then we believe that's the best possible way things could be. But even this standard is the lie you believe. Yeah, even this standard is being sold to you by your own mind. Your own mind tells you, this particular thing should be in this particular way, it should have this particular standard, this is what should be there for it to be good. When that isn't necessarily the case. It's easy to think it is the case, and if you are not sharp enough, you will totally miss it and think definitely that is the case. And that's a lot to do with happiness also, no? Even with regards to achieving things. Yeah, like for example, my neighbors are pretty noisy and they're making a lot of noise, and then I'm like, yeah, but this will take away from the quality of the video. And maybe up to a certain extent it is true. It would be nice to have like a studio where there is no sound whatsoever and completely carry on with this particular discussion, but that is not the nature of existence, no? It goes back into the factor of anicca. It's not your liking. Even with like something like the metaverse and everything happening, that again is people trying to bring things to our liking, bring things to a particular way of going where it's very much in control. We try to at least keep it so much in control. The world outside, I mean, if the last few years have proved anything, is that you can't really keep all of this in control. No, it is for the most part out of control. Pandemics, war, you can with great difficulty like try to keep it all together, but it doesn't really last for that long. Yeah, and so the best possible solution is build a world where we can keep things in control, and that is basically, I think, the concept of the metaverse. Yeah, even in games, in video games, some particular goals are difficult to achieve too, but there is a clear cut way to do it. Yeah, so reward is like a guarantee if you follow particular steps. Unlike in life, it's not like that at all. You can do certain things and you still can be totally disappointed, and there's no guarantee things will go your particular way. So you build like a niche world, or you build like a world which is to your liking, and that essentially is the concept of like virtual reality. I mean, even if you take Instagram or Facebook, even Instagram, you kind of build this model of who you are, and it's very much more in control than what it is in real life. In real life, it's more difficult to portray, express, while within all these constraints and filters, it might even be easier to have it to your liking. Yeah, the mind is like a magician. It's able to give value to not valuable things, to invaluable is the wrong word, to useless things to things which actually bring us a lot of pain and suffering. It can like decorate it and nicely present it to you like a salesman, like a magician. You hear that? Welcome to the world. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, but that is also again not to say that certain things are not to our liking. Yeah, like for example, that is not to say certain things are not desirable. What I mean by this is, for example, like if you are someone who is finding difficult to get a job, especially with like the present economy and everything, yeah, for sure, like if your mind is like advertising, hey, get this degree, get this work experience, then you'll be able to live. Yeah, I mean that is true, no? I think living within this world, there are certain things which actually could give us a certain advantage over certain things, but also that doesn't mean that it is exactly how it is supposed to be. That is where we are wrong. Yeah. And if you believe your mind too much, if you believe your ego too much, you can take that to be reality, and you can get really upset, depressed, angry at yourself, angry at the world when you don't get to what the mind believes you should be getting. So it's good to be a bit aware of it. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that, got busy and it got late. Just to end off, we usually follow our minds, without any hesitation. Whatever comes to our mind on autopilot almost, we kind of agree, accept, and just go ahead with it. If we think we are to be angry with some person, angry at some situation, like done, we go behind it. And this itself is the problem. I think we should be a lot more aware. We should at least try to throughout the day get into that awareness of like detecting our mind when it's just feeding us this lie, when it's feeding us something as valuable out there. Really just seeing, just analyzing, is it so or is it not? Yeah, just looking, just simply looking and seeing. Because there is a lot of flow of information through our senses and to our mind. Really going into it and seeing. Because and I think a good way to start off, especially if you are comfortable, if you are a dude who is a dude or a girl who is comfortable in saying the gathas and everything, even the phrases of Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, which basically means I'm going in sarana of Budun. Like Budunge sarana yanawa, Dhamme sarana yanawa, Sange sarana yanawa, which basically like all of us in our day-to-day lives, what we are doing is we are going in sarana of our ego. So it's like what we are doing is ego saranang gacchami, and what we have to do is Buddhang saranang gacchami. Buddhang saranang, not in the sense of this big mind, because what is the common translation is buddhimat, no? Yeah, while that is true, I think Bhava Uddha, the translation for that is something which makes way more sense. Uprooting this sense of becoming, because this becoming itself is dukkha. This becoming itself is something not we can. It's not something where at any point there will be a real sense of satisfaction. It's a hunger throughout. And yeah, so even coming into that space, that energy of saying the gathas and saying Buddhan Saranang Gacchami, that this is what I'm going to be taking refuge in uprooting this becoming. I'm going to take refuge in this Dhamma, basically reality, basically this explanation of what the outside world is, what the inside world is, what reality is. I'm going to take a refuge in the truth of that, and I'm going to take refuge in the Sangha, that is all the people who are on pursuit to Nibbana, to Buddha, that is to Bhava Uddha. Yeah. So even getting into that space of saying that gathas with the right intention, without going for ego saranang gacchami, but for Buddhan, Dhamman, Sanghan saranang gacchami, that itself could be your alignment. That itself could be your energy aligning once you set that intention right for you to vidarshana, for you to see deeper. So just to go full circle on the character arc thing, there is a lie which your character believes, which you believe. And just like in the movies, as it comes towards the end of the movie, the character sees the lie that they believe, and due to some, big arc, due to some tragic life event or something big happening, they kind of realize the lie that they were believing. And whatever that lie may be, it may be that their mom loved them after all, or they can move on after a relationship, or whatever it is. The thing about these movies is they kind of sell you one lie with another cliche kind of lie. And the best movies are the ones which really has an insight on that character, on that particular lie. So even with you, there are many lies which you believe, and that itself is the beauty of Vidarshana. That itself is the beauty of this meditation, is to go into it and see what really these lies are. And the more you go into it, the more your wisdom increases, the deeper you see, the more you see your avidya, that is, the more you see your problem, the more you see the mind. Yeah. And so I hope your character arc also completes, and you too see the true nature of your mind, of your existence. You too completely break this lie by seeing through it 100%.